I'm sure Imola has been one of the favourite new additions to the F1 calendar, giving us great races since its return. But this tight track can be unforgiving, with many corners that can trip you up and curbs that could ruin the floor of your car. And that also goes for turns 2, 3 and 4, which is what we'll be covering in this corner guide. In these F1 cars, the braking zone into turn 2 is very short, which does make it tough to really nail that braking point. This makes it easy to either be too cautious into turn 2, or go in too deep, leaving the driver to find themselves battling the curbs over turn 3 and damaging their run through turn 4. It's a fine line for sure, so let's see how we can nail this sequence of corners. Let's ride on board now and break down how to approach these corners. Straight away we move to the right and try to straight line the braking, and here we find ourselves braking between the 100 and 50 meter board, and begin to use all of that outside curb before turning in, to open up turn 2 as much as possible. So meeting the apex, we brush right up to that yellow curb. It's crucial to get right up close to it, but not to touch it, as it will unsettle the car and hurt your traction. And slowing it down, we hit turn 3's apex. We're using as much of the green curb as possible between the two yellow sausage curbs. And at this point, we're easing back onto the throttle to about 70% here. And after that apex, we jump right back onto the throttle, aiming not to run too wide in order to minimize the steering angle as you head through turn 4. The big enemy in this section is definitely those yellow curbs. Regardless of how quick you are through here, it's always best to keep it clean by staying clear of them, or you may find yourself in the gravel trap. We're here on the tracked item platform now, where we're comparing our fast example, which is the blue line, against the lap shown as the orange line, where our driver approaches turn 2 with too much caution and loses over 2 tenths compared to the fast lap. And as we can see, the racing lines of the two are almost completely identical, so where is all of the lap time still left on the table? On the speed graph, I'm sure you can spot the difference in braking points heading into turn 2. For a lot of drivers, this is where the walk on the tightrope begins, as many wouldn't want to give it 100% and risk taking a dip into the gravel trap. Entering the braking phase now, and our driver in blue only brakes a handful of meters before our quick lap, but as they travel through the braking phase, we can see the hesitation on the brakes as they lift slightly and reapply the brakes before hitting the apex. Whereas our best lap is fully committed and has one smooth application on the brakes until they reach the apex. This is where most of the time in this example is, as with greater entry speeds comes more downforce into the corner. Although the driver with the orange line comes back onto the throttle earlier, it won't be enough to regain the time lost on entry. Into turn 2, it is tough to commit into here and come out unscathed. And although it is best to be smooth and controlled on entry, and just as smooth as you come back on the throttle through turn 3, this sequence of corners can be a great proving ground to try and improve your precision and commitment into fast chicanes just like these ones.